Hi friends, how are you guys doing today? Okay, so I'm back again with another edition of the Expat Answerman. And today it's a little bit different. I'm out on my front porch here in Davao City. Give you guys a little look at the outside here where I live. And I'm going to do a monologue like normal, and then we will have another listener or viewer question. So let's start off with my monologue. And I want to talk today about SNR. You've probably seen me. I've written quite a bit about SNR. Other writers have written about SNR on my website. Paul Thompson writes about SNR fairly often. Fama has written about SNR, and others too. SNR is a membership store here in the Philippines. Honestly, when you go inside SNR, it looks just like you're in Costco. For those of you in the States, and they have Costco's in other countries now too, so the shelves are exactly the same as what you see in Costco. Actually, Costco used to have a partial ownership in SNR. Because of the business ownership laws here, they could not own the whole thing. Foreign companies or foreigners can only own a certain percentage. The percentage is dependent on what type of business it is. And they could not own the entire thing in a retail environment. A little traffic going by here out in the street in front of my house, so pause from time to time if it gets too loud. Hopefully it's not too bad though. Oh, somebody honked their horn at me there. Maybe they want to be on the video. Okay, so I really like SNR. They have good products. They have many of the same products that you'll find at Costco in the United States or elsewhere. As a matter of fact, Costco's private label brand is Kirkland Signature, and they have a lot of Kirkland Signature products there at SNR. I've got an SNR very close to where I live here in Davao City, and I go there a lot. We have actually two memberships. You can have up to two people on a membership. Fama and I are on one membership, and then we have a second membership that our daughter and our niece are on, because we often like to send them over there to pick up this or that. And especially our daughter, Jean, she is kind of the main player in our Wow Philippines business, and she'll go over there and pick up stuff that we need for different orders or whatever. So we have two memberships, and we patronize the place probably at least 3 or 4 times a week. One of us is in there. Okay, so everything's good. The prices are pretty good in my opinion. There is one downside, though, that I'm aware of. Well, there might be more than one. I know Paul Thompson's written about them being out of stock on stuff, and that has gotten to be somewhat of a problem. Although here in Davao, I haven't found it to be as much of a problem as what Paul talks about, but I have seen it somewhat, especially like cheese right now. You can't even hardly buy cheese there. That used to be like the emporium for foreign cheeses. But the problem that I have experienced a number of times, and I've talked to other expats who have told me the exact same thing, is using a foreign credit card at SNR. When I use one of my foreign cards at SNR, I would say at least 50% of the time there's a problem. And what'll happen is they say, oh, it didn't go through, it didn't work. But when you go home and check your online credit card statement, there sure is a charge on there. And, a lot of times when, there's an error in handling the charge like that, what it'll happen is that, after a few days, the charge will drop off of your account, because basically they've just reserved the funds, but they haven't made the actual charge. But I had an experience about 2 weeks ago, or, it was more than that. It was probably over a month ago, I guess, thinking about it. Another car going by, or a motorcycle or something. Okay, the experience I had a while back, I just went over there and I bought some peanut butter, as I recall. One of my kids wanted some peanut butter, so I bought a big jar of peanut butter. They've got, the industrial sizes there, like what you would see at Costco. So I bought the peanut butter. I went to use my foreign card, and of course it didn't work. It didn't go through. When I came home, sure enough, 349 pesos or was like $7.20 or something at that time, was charged on my card. And I waited for weeks and weeks. It took like at least 3 or 4 weeks before that charge went away. You know, it's just not right the way they're doing it. I don't understand it because they have a lot of foreign shoppers there. They're mostly handling foreign goods there. And I would say that a good 25% of their clientele are foreigners. And I can go to SM, I can go to Robinson's or other retail outlets around the city, and my card always works fine. But almost half the time I go to SNR, boom, it doesn't work. They really need to fix this. And you know, I talked to a friend of mine who lives up near Manila. You guys have seen Dave on my podcast before, on my video cast. Dave's got his own website. I'll give him a little plug here. It's philfax.com. That's Phil, like Philippines, FAQS, like frequently asked questions.com. So Dave, when I told him what happened about the peanut butter and the charge, he said, yeah, I get the exact same thing all the time. So I know it's not happening only in Davao, and I pretty much know that this is happening all over the Philippines. You would just think that SNR could get this straightened out. And SNR does their bank charges through BDO, which is Banco de Oro. And I know that other places, like, for example, SM, they use Banco de Oro to process their charges, and it works every time. So something is wrong at SNR. And something's wrong that there's a lot of traffic going on behind me there. So I apologize for that. But anyway, hey, SNR, let's get it straightened out, okay? I like to shop there, but you know, you guys need to get your charging on credit cards straightened out. All right, folks, so let's have a word from one of my sponsors, and then we're going to answer a question from Lanny. I had another question from Lanny, I think last time or the time before that I did a video cast, but this is a different Lanny, I'm pretty sure. It sounds like a different voice, and he's got a totally different question he's asking. So Lanny's going to be asking about the need for an onward ticket, especially when he's going to be coming into the Philippines on the Balikbayan Privilege, or as the way many people call it, the Balikbayan Visa. So we're going to hear Lanny's question, and then I'm going to give my answer about that right after this commercial. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's good to see you again.
Flowers are special. Flowers mean love. If you give flowers to your girl, it shows romance and love. At Wow Philippines, flowers are special to us too. We got our start selling nothing but flowers. Now we sell many other products, but flowers hold a special place in our heart. We get our flowers from some of the best flower farms in the Philippines, and they are very close to where we're located, so the flowers are always fresh. Our flowers come from Bukidnon province in a perfect climate for growing flowers. We are always here for you with high quality flowers, professionally arranged, and with a special touch that makes Wow Philippines the best source for flower delivery in the Philippines. Come and visit us today. We're looking forward to seeing you. We're always here to serve you. That's wowphilippines.com, wowphilippines.com. We're here to help you.
Hi, good morning, Bob. My name is Lanny from the United States, California to be exact, and I have a question regarding the latest video about one-way tickets. We have also purchased one-way tickets from the USA to the Philippines, not knowing when we're going to return. Our plan is to return within 6 months to 9 months. My wife has dual citizenship. She's the Filipino. And my question is, during our stay, if I must return to the United States for an unfortunate funeral, when I return back to the Philippines, will I be able to avail the Balikbayan stamp that was issued when I entered the country with my wife, or will then I be on the clock for the 30 days allowed by the United States? Looking forward to your reply. As always, your information is extremely helpful, and I appreciate it. Again, this is Lanny from the United States. Thank you.
Well, hi there, Lanny. How are you doing today? It's good to hear from you. And if you're the same Lanny I heard from a couple weeks ago, hello again, but I think you're a different Lanny this time. But still, thanks for calling in with your question on my voicemail line. Okay, so the situation is that you're going to be traveling to the Philippines with your wife. You're planning to stay here for about 6 months. And your wife is a dual citizen, Philippines and I presume United States. Okay, so no doubt, Lanny, when you enter the Philippines, you can get the Balikbayan Privilege, and that's good for a 1-year stay in the Philippines. You can stay here for up to 12 months. It's 100% free. There's no charge, no hassle. You get the stamp in your passport, and you're good for a year. Now, you mentioned, though, that you might have to go back to the United States. You mentioned for a funeral. I don't know if you were just using that for an example, or there's somebody that you think might die while you're gone. Maybe there's somebody with cancer, very sick, something like that. I'm really not sure. Okay, Lanny, if you're going to go there by yourself to attend the funeral, or whatever cause for your reason to return, when you come back again, you cannot extend. Your Balikbayan Visa is only good for a single entry to the Philippines. When you leave, there's no more Balikbayan Visa anymore. You leave the country, you're back again. When you re-enter, you're going to be back on a tourist visa waiver. Now, there's only one thing you could do, Lanny. If your wife is going to go with you, or you can make some other kind of arrangement for her to enter the country with you, you will get another 1-year Balikbayan Privilege or Balikbayan Visa, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm assuming that your wife's not going to go back for the funeral. It doesn't sound like it. But here's what you could do. Let's say you're returning on September 15th, let's just say. Maybe around, September 12th or 13th, your wife could fly to Hong Kong. Let's say you have a stopover in Hong Kong or wherever you might have a stopover. Your wife could meet you there and you could fly together the rest of the way to the Philippines. That way, you're 100% legal as far as the Balikbayan. Your wife's going to enter the country with you, and you're good to go. You're going to get another Balikbayan Privilege. You're going to get the stamp in your passport, and you're good for another year. All right, Lanny, I hope that answers your question, and I hope you have a great trip to the Philippines. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you have a question for the Expat Answerman, call in on my voicemail line. You'll see it at the bottom of every video podcast. And I'll be glad to answer for you. If you try to contact me, if you use the audio voicemail line, I will answer every time. It may be on the podcast. If you just use regular email, the odds are I'm not going to answer. I just don't have time for it. And using the voicemail allows me to be able to use it to create content for others to learn as well. So I hope you understand, and I'm just doing my best. I just don't have all of the hours in the day to answer the hundreds of emails that I get. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And Lanny, enjoy your visit to the Philippines. Take care, everybody.